Hello and welcome back to MB Tech. My name is Matthew Bingham, and today we're going to be going over installing the Ubuntu server with Docker. There's two different ways that I know how to do it. Like I said, there's probably more than that, but one of the ways is actually from the ISO itself. So we're going to go back to our Promox environment. From there, we're going to say create a VM. We are going to give it a name. Hit next. Here we're going to actually select what storage we want to get the image from, and we have an image here of Ubuntu. Next, we're going to leave the system as is. Disk, we're going to leave that as 32 gig, but we are going to select our NFS that we set up previously. It could be local for yours as well. Then we're going to hit next. CPU, we're just going to give it 2 sockets, and memory 2 gig is fine. And network we're going to use as our default. And we're going to hit finish. Now that VM has been created, just the actual config file, we're going to actually start that up here in just a minute. Ubuntu server there, we're going to hit start. And then from there, we're also going to hit console. And then we'll just enlarge that to make it bigger. And we're going to install Ubuntu server. It's just going through its initial kickoff. And here we are. We're going to select English for here, or select whatever language you want for your location. And say done. We just want the Ubuntu server. That's fine. IP address is fine. It picked up automatically from DHCP, so we're good with that. I have no proxy set up, so we're going to leave that blank as well. Right now, it's just checking to see if there's a mirror available and if it can get any information from it. So it's just doing a regular little check right there. It's reading the package list. Looks like everything's good. It passed all tests. So we're going to say done there. We're going to use the entire disk, so all 32 gig. And we're going to use LVM just in case we have to increase this in the future. I'll go over some ways of doing that with LVM, like create and LVM PV create and stuff like that, so you can see how to extend a disk if you want to using Logical Volume Manager. So we are good there. We're going to tab through that, say done, and now it's showing the mount point, the boot, and then the amount of space it's going to use, and then free space. So we're all set there. Say done, and yes, we are sure we want to continue. Here you can put in your username wherever you want it to be. Put those to your liking. We're going to skip the Ubuntu Pro. It does cost. Here we're actually going to install the OpenSSH server. And now we get to select. These are some features that are available for here. So, I mean, you could actually set up a Kubernetes if you wanted to, real easy. Nextcloud server, obviously pretty self-explanatory. We're actually going to select the Docker. And click done. And it's starting to install that with Docker installed. This will take a little bit of time, but I will fast forward through it so that that can be completed. And then we'll go to the second way of setting it up here in just a minute. Okay, right now it's actually updating the security updates. If you wanted to, you could say cancel, update, and reboot, and it'll automatically reboot. But we do want the security ones installed. So we're going to allow this to continue through. As I mentioned, I'll be fast forwarding it to save time. Okay, everything's been installed. So we will just go to the reboot now. And system is rebooting. Sometimes it'll ask to unmount the CD-ROM. All you have to do then is go to your hardware and CD-ROM. And you can just say do not use any media. Click OK. And then hit enter. And the system is rebooting now. Okay, from here we're going to log in as our user. And then here we're also going to sudo to root. And then do a docker ps. And that shows us that at least that part of it's up and running, so it's all ready for us to pull down and use Docker as is. So that's pretty fast and easy, and that's actually using the setup wizard from a bare metal or bare VM. But we're all set to go. it's set up, it's running Docker, everything looks good, and thank you for this part. And now we'll go to the next part where we actually just install Ubuntu and then install it after. Okay, now we're just going to install a Ubuntu VM. So we're going to call this Ubuntu Server 2 for originality. Remember, Ubuntu ISO image, system standard, disk 32 is fine. We're actually going to use the NFS, but you can use your local if you'd like. CPU, we're going to bump this up to 2 sockets. Memory, we're going to keep the same. Network, we're going to keep as general, and click Finish. Now the configuration file has been all set up, but the OS has not been installed yet. So here all we need to do is, from our virtual machines within Promox, right-click Start, and then from there we're going to click Console. And we're going to try and install Ubuntu Server. Okay, from the drop down, you can select your language for your there. So we're going to do English, and our layout for our keyboard is going to be English as well. We want the Ubuntu server. It's given us an IP address from our DHCP server, so we're good there. No proxy. It's just checking this mirror to see if we can install from the mirror. And it says the mirror location has passed all tests, so we're good there. We're going to use the whole disk, and everything looks good there. We got root, boot, and volume group, so we are good. You can say done there, and yes, we're going to continue. Here you can put in your name, and we do not want to do Pro. We want to install the SSH server, and this time we're not going to select anything. Say done, and it'll go through and install. Alright, it's basically finished installing, but we're going to allow it to install the security updates. So we'll wait till this says that it's finished and ready for reboot. But if you really were in a quick hurry, which I do not recommend, skipping the security updates, but you could hit cancel update and reboot from the bottom here. That's right here, the cancel update and reboot. But we're going to allow it to go all the way through. Okay, we're going to select the reboot now. It will have us remove the CD-ROM, which we can do. Here, we're going to go to Hardware, CD-ROM drive, OK, go back, hit Enter, and it's rebooting. OK, we're going to log in. Everything looks good at this point. As I mentioned, Docker is not installed, so we'll go over that part here in a minute. I just want to know what the IP address is, and just letting us know that it is 187. We're going to SSH into the box using PuTTY, and we will go to appearance here just to make the font a little bit bigger. And we're all set. Logged in, everything looks good. I think we'll change the appearance a little bit bigger. 18, 20. 18 should be good. Alright. Hopefully that's large enough so you guys can see that. Alright, we're going to the docs.docker.com, and you can look up the install engine on Ubuntu. It lets you know what the requirements are. We're actually using Ubuntu 24.04. And what you need to do, there's multiple. You can set up the app directory. You can install the Docker packages. And then you can also run the quick little script that they've got. It's a convenient script. So we're actually going to do that. So we're going to curl this. But first, we're going to change to root. So now it's downloaded that, and then the next step is actually to run it. Do a dry run, I'm sorry. So it looks like everything should work. So this time we're at a dry run. Kick it off. So it looks like everything is all set to go. So here we can just do a Docker PS like we did before. We can see that it's ready to go that way. The next thing that you can also do is actually run a quick little test if you want to see and make sure that it seems to be working. And I believe that is on their site as well. And we can do sudo docker run hello. All right, hello from Docker. So that means that you have Docker up and running. Those are the two different ways. There's multiple probably other ways to do it as well, but two easiest that I know of. One is doing it from the actual initial setup and selecting the Docker, and then the other is actually installing it with the scripts from the Docker site. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and hope you have a great rest of the day.